Adventures in Pixieland presents your daily energy reading.
Our daily Bible verse for March 23rd, 2026 is Psalms 119, verse 45. That's in the alphabets. In the King James Version, we have, "And I will walk at thy liberty, for I seek thy precepts." In the New International Version, we have, "I will walk about in freedom, for I have sought out your precepts." No need to worry about whether or not the devil can entrap you if you are doing what God told you to do. God doesn't leave you to where the devil can entrap you. It's not really his thing. In the King James Version, we have "at liberty," and in the New International, about in freedom. And that's what it means, without worrying about whether or not you have the right to be there or not, because you do. "I seek" versus "I have sought." So those are about tenses. You have sort of sought, should be currently seeking, and you should in the future seek, the word of the Lord and ask him, what it is that he might want you to do. Thy versus your, those mean exactly the same thing. Keep your eyes on what the good Lord gave you to do and follow the rules that, aren't going to hurt your soul, right? So understand that means, as a Christian, Jesus told you the fulfillment of the law is love the Lord your God. First, there is one God and no other God besides him. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your mind and all your soul, all your understanding. And then love your neighbor as yourself. Not more than you, not less than you, equal to you. Be fair to the people around you, and you'll be following in the precepts of the Lord, because he wants you to be kind. He wants compassion. So start there. And then you're at a good place to keep yourself on that illuminated path. Your Elder Futhark daily rune is Sowilo. It is the letter S. Its meaning is sun. Its associations with good guidance, wholeness, awareness, hope, goals achieved, individual victory, and honor. If you peep the map down below, you can see all the places where this rune would have had influence. Our Hebrew letter of the day is P. The letter P or F, the number 80. It is a mouth, an opening or an entrance to command, to speak, to open, a beginning, here and present, like in this present moment. If you peep the map down below of the Jewish diaspora, that courtesy of pbs.org, you can see all the places where this letter would have had influence in the world. Our daily archangel card is our daily spread your wings. The archangel Ariel says, do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect. You are ready to soar. Our daily sacred geometry card is our card 21, Divine Feminine. The frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the King James Version of the Bible, and we are in Psalms Book 2. We are in Psalm 66. To the chief musician, a song, or psalm. Make a joyful noise unto God, all ye lands. Sing forth the honor of his name. Make his name praise glorious. Say unto God, how terrible art thou in thy works! Through the greatness of thy power shall thine enemies submit themselves unto thee. All the earth shall worship thee, and shall sing unto thee. They shall sing to thy name. Selah. Come and see the works of God. He is terrible in his doings toward the children of men. He turned the sea into dry land. They went through the flood on foot. There we did rejoice in him. He ruleth by power forever. His eyes behold the nations. Let not the rebellious exalt themselves. Selah. O God, O bless our God, ye people, and make the voice of praise to be heard, which holdeth our soul in life, and suffereth not our feet to be moved. For thou, O God, hast proved us. Thou hast tried us, as silver is tried. Thou broughtest us into the net. Thou laidest affliction upon our loins. Thou hast caused men to ride over our heads. We went through the fire and through the water, but thou broughtest us out into a wealthy place. I will go into thy house with burnt offerings. I will pay thee my vows, which my lips have uttered, and my mouth has spoken when I was in trouble. I will offer unto thee burnt sacrifices of fatlings, with incense of rams. I will offer bullocks with goats. Selah. Come and hear, all ye that fear God. I will declare what he hath done for my soul. I cried unto him with my mouth, and he was extolled with my tongue. If I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord will not hear me. But verily, God hath heard me. He hath attended to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be God, which hath not turned away my prayer, nor his mercy from me. And amen to that, right? It's always wonderful when you pray to God for something that you need and it comes through. I hope you'll join me tomorrow, friends, when we will be doing Psalm 67. Until then. Our daily energy reading for March 23rd, 2026 is the Bible reminds us that keeping our eyes on what's ours to handle keeps us out of trouble. And that is frequently why you see me having so many projects or posting things, especially if you're following me on my personal Facebook page or Instagram, because my Instagram will show things from both portions of my Facebook world. So you would get to see the various little projects and little things that I like to make. I love working with clay. I love gardening. I have all these little projects and all sorts of different things, including, because if you're going to work with clay, that means you get to paint clay or seal clay or do any kinds of other stuff. So I never stopped doing the arts and crafts, because I've literally been watching episodes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood again. It was like an opportunity on my local library. They have an app called Hoopla that links in with the local library and lets us see all the digital stuff to, take, a season for one rental point. You only get 5 in a month to do Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And I did not realize exactly how much this particular person had influenced some of the things that I still currently do. Like he literally taught a generation of children to make up sing songs to keep their brain in activity, like things focused, or told them to go create small side projects. So the whole idea of the side quest that you get to see in video games is a direct result of Mr. Rogers telling us we had the job of trying to keep ourselves busy so that we stay out of trouble while we're waiting for something else to happen. In case you think you could never have enough influence. Some preacher, because that's what he was, a Presbyterian minister. He did not serve in the military. I believe that once too. That's false. He's a Presbyterian minister. And he indeed had a very deep impact. Bob Ross, LeVar Burton from the Reading Rainbow, and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, plus Jim Henson and Walt Disney. Really, you just never know when you get up and go to work every day what you just might be imprinting on anything around us. So Wheelo says the sunlight exposes, grows, heals, or torches, depending on what's needed. Now, you might think, like, when does it need to be torched? But when is it dead? And it needs to be removed. Sometimes that's just what happens. In the case of the Arizona sun, sometimes they need to let the sunlight bake and bake and bake and bake until the seed casings that are hanging from a certain portion of our trees crack and split open for the seeds to be able to fall to the ground, for that tree to have a chance to, make new babies. Because once the seed pods are there, that means the pollen successfully carried. So the sunlight is doing the job that God gave it to do, regardless of our opinion. Because we just don't always understand what is necessary to make something viable for the next stage. But he does. The Hebrew letter phi says, consider the words you use. You need to consider the words that you're using. The Archangel card, spread your wings, says you weren't meant to stay there. You weren't meant to stay confined. Just like the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis to become out the butterfly. The caterpillar doesn't come out a butterfly if it never leaves the chrysalis. Now, it's a hot mess of disgusting amino acid melting goo in there. That's just the literal truth. Healing is messy. Change is messy. It's not clean. We wish it was clean, but it's not clean. It's the finding out what you shouldn't have been doing in the first place, and then going and cleaning up the mess, because that's what accountability looks for. If you're unwilling to clean up the mess you made, well, I guess you're not very mature. That's just how it is. It's not pleasant to hear that, but it's also the truth. If you made the mess, then it's your mess to clean up. And in the cleaning up of the mess you made, you learn what needed to be adjusted. So in the future, you can make better choices. The Sacred Geometry card, Divine Feminine, says this is about the way you nurture, not discipline. Divine Masculine, because that's follow through, it's honor, it's forward focus, and it's, battle when needed. We tend to think of it as intellect. These are only defined these ways because of our agreed upon construct on this planet. Every person in existence has both testosterone and estrogen in them from birth. In fact, from before birth. because there is stages when we are in utero where our gender is not yet decided. God made known, but he hasn't actually made the complete split necessary for it to be Y chromosome instead of X chromosome. So I would say they're both there from the beginning. And maybe, just maybe in the beginning, there might be slightly more of the estrogen than the testosterone in the growth process. It depends on what you're growing. Think about what you would take a testosterone supplement for. When the baby's in that state of growth, from a collection of cells to a baby, requires a lot of changes. And those chemicals need to come in to help with the growth of the various bodies. That's why they're even in it. It's not just to make our reproductive health, because estrogen or testosterone doesn't only affect our reproductive health. Just because that's how we associate them doesn't mean that's the only effect they have. Somebody taking steroids also generally has temper problems. Well, that's not only affecting the anatomy, is it? It's also affecting the behavior. So they're often more interconnected than what we think. So it is about how we nurture the situations around us and the people around us, and the fact that we're not meant to stay where we've been. We're growing. So we're meant to spread those wings. As we heal, things around us change. It becomes reflective. The psalm reminds us that when God performs miracles in our lives, we need to believe the miracles. We need to believe him. We need to believe them. We need to believe what God is telling us with the miracles. When miracles happen in one's life, God is directly reaching out to show you that he is with you. In the early days, after Jesus bodily rose and they got to see him sit at the right hand, the apostles, and they went out and preached, they knew God was with them via signs. We would call that in the metaphysics world this day synchronicities. Ask for signs. And then when the signs come in, believe him and do whatever you told him you would do when the sign comes in. And that is simply you being honorable and true to your word. And that is very important. If you don't keep your word, then your reputation goes away. And it's not just your reputation in front of humans, but it's your representation in front of God. Because if you won't even keep your promises to God, what are the chances that you'll actually keep a promise to a human?